split. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, bad boy. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents Enter the Dungeon Session 20, the aftermath of the Halloween adventure. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam and Mark this weekend. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Oh shit, we didn't go through the treasure. Gotta organize. The people to sell it to are here.
Hang on. You want the scalpel?
I think we want the magic off the scalpel.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put that on Alkur's sheet then.
Okay.
Oh, so you're going through your treasure list? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Alright, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to do a recap of what happened last game. Last game was called Drink Your Juice, the Halloween special. The denizens of the Temple of Elemental Evil gather outside for the Pumpkin Seed Festival, coinciding with the arrival of a dimension-hopping carnival called the Grand Bhaali Circus. Alkur and Bonecrusher pose as leaders of the Fire and Earth Temples respectively, and as an initiation are forced to commune with the power of the temple, the demoness Zuchtmoy. Darian receives an ancient scroll from Mother Skreng, who is captive, along with some other captives that are to be divided amongst the many temples, likely as sacrifices. And the party visits the Grand Bhaali Circus and speaks with the professor within. Am I missing any flavor?
Place is fucked up. Also, you got a lot of hummy background noise from your microphone.
Weird. Weird. Didn't touch anything from last time, so...
Your microphone's been getting progressively less perfect.
Is this a problem on stream, or is it just a problem...
That's what I'm checking right now.
Okay, alright.
Adam, do you have slippers, or these magic sandals is something different?
The magic sandals are something different. I don't think they have been identified.
I don't think so either. I'll leave them on the list, and I guess we're not selling them until they're identified.
Mm-hmm. How's it sound?
It sounds fine. You have better sound quality through the stream than I do, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because we're going through VC, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get the shit audio. The stream gets the better stuff.
I'm not too sure how to fix the VC problem.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Let me just check to make sure I'm not automatically adjusting my volume. No, I'm not. Okay. There are some things I can play with if it gets really bad. There are a couple of options. All right. The party visits the Grand Bhaali Circus, and Ptolemy, basically you did some commerce. Hey, Drixter, how's it going? How is your weekend going? They talked to the professor. The professor was really impressed that you had a soul gem, and believes that he has met Alkur before. He said it was like 30 years ago he might have taught Alkur a spell, but then again, all elves kind of look alike, and elves don't age, so it's like... he also hinted to Oscar that he's got a job for Oscar, and that to meet him at the sideshow later tonight.
Yes.
So the Grand Bhaali Circus is overrun with foot soldiers and ogres and giants and people from the Temple of Elemental Evil. While the carnival is catering to them, you do not see anything like overtly bad going on. Yes, they are taking the ill-gotten goods from the temple and trading them for coin and shits and other gear. Yeah, the tall thin jurets are a bit creepy, and you already saw perhaps what they refer to as the twisting.
The skin falling off.
Yeah, the one that had buckets of skin falling off of him. Where did we leave off? You guys wandered.
We were heading towards the tent of Madame Fortuna.
Oh, right, there you guys are.
And we were like, oh, look, here's a market to sell our goods. and then we were going to sort our goods, which we apparently failed at doing.
Well,
You know what? I gave away the stuff people are going to want. The rest is, aside from the magic sandals we haven't identified, we could, we'll probably want to keep the soul gem, but that still stays in party treasure.
okay. Are you doing some commerce amongst the stalls, or are you going to Madame Fortuna's tent?
I think first we're going to do some commerce.
I think so too. Let's get rid of those ill-gotten goods before Darian realizes we have ill-gotten goods.
They're not ill-gotten, although
It actually says ill-gotten.
there's ill-gotten like money.
oh, that's money. Okay.
That is raw money.
Okay.
That's quite literally the payment for being the Earth curate.
Oh, right. Yes.
Uh,
The please don't hit us bribe.
yes, it's the
Okay, you can see a. You think that they have called themselves Skura. She looks like a, like some sort of gypsy woman. All the Skura, they might be a faction or perhaps a culture of people here at the Grand Bhaali Circus. They've all painted their faces in black and white to kind of resemble skulls. You can see a female Zura dressed in a kind of a long functional gown with a tight corset. She is talking to two kind of compared to Kreiger puny men, like very very small, wiry. They have daggers and unlit torches at their belt. There seems to be some exchange going on, like she gave them each a pouch of something and then they kind of scattered off. She ducks back inside the tent that does have a sign in front of it that says, Madame Fortuna, get your fortunes told. And there are weird fetishes on posts just outside of the tent.
wonder if she can tell our pasts.
I wonder if I got asked. You know, not hanging around with you guys, whatever.
Are we certain we want to know such things, says Bone Crusher.
We already know too much. What's a little bit more going to hurt?
Precisely.
Alright then. But remember, she's a fortune teller. They might be some sort of scam, so don't sign yourselves up for nothing that you don't mean to.
Oh, a scam from a bunch of carnies. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Can't trust some folk.
Okay, you approach the carnival tent. Okay, there's literally mist coming out of the tent, kind of like tendrils of mist as you part the entryway.
Magic mist or smoke machine.
The comely Skura woman is inside, and she says, "Not now. She is napping."
Oscar's like looking out. Does she realize it's like fucking rush hour out here?
The fates adhere to no one's schedule but their own, she says, and she comes out with a sign that says closed and kind of puts it into the ground.
The lazy merchant has weak profit.
Well, I guess the fates have decided we're spending our money elsewhere. Let's go.
Okay, she
Aww.
she doesn't seem to argue with you. She closes the tent roughly with your smart alecky replies. She opens it again. After dark. And then closes the tent.
You know, I'm tempted to come back at like 4 in the morning because that's after dark.
I wonder what time. I wonder. Ma'am, this demiplane, how long is its cycle?
Okay. Shh. Jesus, you.
How long is its cycle? What is it, a lady?
It's a plane. How
Come
long
along.
does
The old lady needs a sleep, says Ptolemy. There's plenty of things for us to see.
Well, why don't we empty our bags and then
Hey, let's get
fill our
something to
bags, if you
eat
know what I'm
that's
saying.
not trail rations.
We could go eat later.
Oh, we could go eat, grab something to eat and walk with food. It can be done. I've done it before.
Fine, let's make some money first, I suppose, says Ptolemy. What are we selling? He's looking at all the stuff that you guys are sorting through.
Well, first thing we gotta get rid of is I would say the weapons, just the mundane stuff. It's just taking up room in our sack.
Yep.
Says Kreiger, who's like fucking bundles of.
Well, we've got we've got 2 big
15
extra
spears.
packs.
Oh,
Right?
okay,
We've got
yeah.
75
Yep.
bulk worth of.
And this is probably one of the few places that can actually use a large glaive and a large long spear.
Yep.
Yes, so you do find that people here are willing to barter for your magical goods.
These are mundane goods, actually.
Well, yeah, even
Yeah.
for your weapons, they are willing to give you some coin for them.
So, I'm having a stupid.
Mhm.
Oh, there it is. I've solved my stupid. I'm like, what are synonyms for hand axe? Because I guarantee there's a hand axe in the system, and hatchet would be the word you were looking for. Hatchet. I was looking for tomahawk and all sorts of esoteric crap. All right. Here's the money right here. Those bastard swords are.
It's composite, 6 composite longbows. That's a tight little profit there.
Yep.
Or are you just adding up what?
I'm
value?
getting all the values of all the weapons, so that we can have just
Okay.
X value of weapons. Right now it's just the value per weapon, because I didn't know if we had any things we sorted in. The composite longbows are like, what? 20 gold pieces, jeez. The rest of this stuff is shit.
We only collect bows.
We only kill archers. Send us to the nearest, archer kingdom. So 120 GP, or we actually do it all in SP. 440, Mark, do you want to start making a list of the magical stuff we're trying to sell as well? So that's 1,660.
The magical sandals are like bracelets of dashing.
Oh, cool. They should go on someone if we have a chance to. Once we get a chance to identify them. Because
Do you want to keep the last soul gem that we have?
yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
We're.
Yeah, I figured as much.
We only sold the first one because we didn't know what they were worth. So
Okay, so right now,
trying to feel it out. Oh,
are we taking the magic off of anything, or are we selling it? Like the +1 retributive great axe.
I think we might keep that one because of the retributive quality.
Okay, and the only thing we're selling is half plate +1.
Cool. Do we want to keep that to move the +1?
There is a chain shirt +1, a chain mail +1, half plate +1. You guys, you need to keep on
I think.
scrolling down.
Oh.
It's not sorted. That's the problem, Mark.
I see.
Yeah, I at one point I did
That
have
was
this
a
shit all
sacred
sorted,
cow.
and then I fell behind, and
Shit,
then it
yeah.
turned into a big pile of crap. Adam Mack, 2019. Our treasure list is a big pile of crap. I fell behind.
I gathered up some of it. The money I took, there were like little tiny purses of money that I collected into one big pot, and then your gems, jewels, and art are all listed in the same spot. But you guys you guys kept on adding. So
we're keeping the blowguns and the darts because I think those are cool. We might find a use for them.
Okay.
And we'll keep 10 javelins.
We're keeping the library, I'm assuming.
Yes, please.
At Alkur's insistence.
Yes. He will whine and cry and make all sorts of noises, and then at some point he'll threaten to not heal you, but then he'll feel bad and he'll heal you anyway.
Oh my god, we got a mangy muskrat pelt. We got mangy muskrat pelts to sell. Poor taxidermy. Otter with pine cone. Go, Oscar.
Oh, selling stuff. Well, we don't want to just sell things. We want to,
30 pounds of antlers.
No, so I would limit it more towards what's in the dungeon because the rest of that stuff's on the wagon. Right, so I'm mostly concerned about things that we would be carrying with us. 30 pounds of antlers and the pelts and stuff, I think, are on the wagon. Like, I don't have them explicitly said what's where, but in my brain, the high value shit's on us and the big bulky crap's in the wagon.
The shining crossbow bolts.
Some of these are new and things that you've picked up recently from the fire priests, but there's a whole pile of scrolls too. I don't know if you saw those.
No, I haven't seen them yet. Okay, the weapons after selling 1,014 silver pieces after if we get like market value.
You get when you sell things, you get half.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so that is halved.
That is halved.
Okay, give me a like lore merchant or barter check and does Oscar's power? I think he has a class
Oscar's
feat.
Got the power of doing business.
Okay.
He knobs hobs and he hunts bargains. I don't know if that totally made sense, but that's fine. So for bargain hunter, he's allowed to use diplomacy.
Nice.
Okay.
For doing this stuff, he can use it to make money and create wealth. He also has lore merchant. So he can give you either. Okay.
And then is anyone aiding Oscar with diplomacy?
Darian will help him with diplomacy.
Okay.
All right.
And you know what? Kreiger can help as well. Yeah, they both got diplomacy.
Yeah, help lug the shit around. We'll look for something good to buy. Alkur and they're on the other half of this arrangement.
Okay.
Kreiger critically fails his aid.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
You're
minus
gonna
one.
fucking buy it.
What do you mean garbage?
28
I'll
on
tear your head
the
off.
check.
Okay. Crusher is basically watching the two of them, and Shadow's helping Oscar, but he's not talking.
I gotta double check what Darian's. He's usually scaring people and not being nice, particularly. So, is the most of them aren't technically human, or they had a bonus with humans?
Yeah, there's enough humans of the Skura that it applies, but you do deal with some mongrel folk vendors. Okay, so
you got a
16 makes up for Kreiger's critical fail, so we'll just go with 28. And
that'd be 29 then.
29, okay.
Oscar's not very charismatic.
And then is there an effect from your hobnobbing or your your class?
Glad heading.
Yeah.
It is. So if I spend time as per downtime rules,
Yep.
I create wealth or buy things at no cost.
Got it.
Like I can trade
That's awesome.
to create items at no cost, basically.
Okay.
But it requires like downtime and.
Give me a 3d4s. Higher is better.
9.
Okay, you make 9% of on top of your silver. You drive little bargains here and there, and
Oh, come on, we got you stuff that's not from the fucking demi-plane. You see this handle made out of real elephant ivory.
okay.
You don't even know what an elephant is.
This does take you a couple of hours to do. To go to vendors and sell all of your weapons. Meanwhile, Alkur, Bone Crusher, and Ptolemy are doing what?
I think we're trying to find magical things that we might want to purchase.
I see. Okay, you do find magic in the market, and I actually prepared 100 magic items from... I converted a table from the random magic items I was supposed to sprinkle throughout the Temple of Elemental Evil. And converted each one. It took me a couple of hours to do while I was watching a movie. Converted them all to Pathfinder 2. So I'm going to use that chart to sprinkle into the market. Give me a 2d10s. We'll do a random magic item, and then we'll do one from the sheet.
10 and 4.
10 and 4. Okay, you find a 10th level magic item for sale, and a 4th level magic item for sale. Oh, they're both consumables.
That's fine.
That means they'll be awesome for one fight.
So most of the consumables have a very short, like, effectiveness time.
Okay. You find a vendor that is selling feather tokens. The one that caught your eye initially is the fan feather token.
Oh.
But they have other feather tokens. And then nearby there is a greater antidote elixir. It's 160 gold.
Oh.
Oh my.
I'm a priest.
Hey, Random,
We'll
how's
just
it
use
going?
magic after the fact.
It has been a while. Good to see you.
Oh, I found what you're supposed to use for shields as you go up levels.
Oh, Mark,
Yeah.
do you want to sell this brooch of the Knights of Epoch that's worth a bajillion money, or do we want to save this and you turn it into some sort of brooch of, like,
We'll
beyond
save
the awesome
that.
Knight of Epoch? Okay.
We'll save that, I think.
Like, that's a...
It goes along the same arguments as your library. No.
No. Alright.
Okay, you find a vendor, same one who's selling the antidote, is selling moderate serene mutagens.
I think mutagens are only usable by alchemists.
I don't know.
I think alchemists are, like, the money grubbiest class in the game, because I think they have to buy all of the stuff. Or craft it, and you use the craft rules for...
I refuse at this point to read that class in its entirety. I was like, no. It's
Temporarily,
wrong right now.
typically only alchemists have the expertise to craft mutagens, and some say they're the only reckless enough to use them. It doesn't say that you can't use them.
I thought they were still poisonous if other people drank them.
I do not see any restriction under the mutagen description.
That's fine. I might just have...
Yep.
a bundle of gook in my mind.
A serene mutagen gives you a bonus to will saves, perception, medicine, nature, religion, and survival checks, and also gives you a bonus to the bonus improves when you make will saves against mental effects. It lasts for 10 minutes. It's worth 12 gold.
Oh, okay, I see. They have drawbacks.
Yep.
So it does something bad to you at the same time. So what was it? The serene one?
Yep.
-1 to hit, -1 to save DCs and offensive spells, -1 to dice damage, -1 to spell damage.
Oh, sign me up for that.
Oh, the Quicksilver one, which is a bonus to like acrobatics and stealth, is take
Yeah.
double damage.
No.
Oh, sorry, no. You take damage equal to twice your level. You can't recover these hit points, so you just lose a bunch of levels.
Oh,
like con penalty.
Okay.
Okay. There's same vendor is selling a standard potion of flying that kind of sticks out at you as something that might be useful. And then 74.
He has a full feather tokens as well, is what you said. Right?
Yeah, there's like a feather token vendor.
Okay, I think they're going to basically be spending our jewels and art.
I guess you find a lot of potions. A potion of elixir of moderate mist form.
Moderate mist form. Which I'm assuming is like a thing of.
Making you concealed for the listed duration. It's a concealment that doesn't allow you to hide. Like it's not a. It's effectively like a blur. A faint mist emanates from your skin, making you hard to hit, I guess. Flat checks.
So up to what level of items does the feather token guy?
Oh, are they? Do they get ridiculous or?
Well, they go up to level 9.
They have them all.
Cool.
Potion of undetectability is about 18.
Level 18.
Level 18.
I'm thinking that we probably want a ladder feather token and a swanboat feather token. Oh shit! Swanboat feather tokens are fucking expensive. I still think we want one. And then maybe a tree? 'Cause those are all things that, like, classically are very useful.
Sure.
Alright.
All right, I'll mark down which. So basically, we had a vendor that was interested in, or that had potions, and then we had a vendor that crafted almost exclusively feather tokens.
Yes. Tokenman. What do we call them?
We'll call it feather tokens, and what do you call them? Talismans.
Talismans. Yeah.
Okay.
There's cool talismans, dude. So, is it possible to grab those 3 feather tokens from him?
Yep.
Cool.
Pay the price.
All right. Okay. So.
All right. So you've sold your non-magical goods. When you go looking for Ptolemy, Bonecrusher, and Alkur, you can see they're sitting on this like big stage, like platform, and Ptolemy seems to be fighting with some sort of cotton candy treat. Crusher hops down when he sees a lot of you approach, and Alkur was like sifting through all the shopping, the gifts that you received. You can see quite a few people wandering around with these little statues. Not really statues; they're almost like stuffed animals and stuffed people that all have pixie wings on them. Of course, some people are masked. It's weird seeing a gnoll in a garish like nobleman's costume. They've got both magical and mundane costumes, as it looked like a whole wagon load had been brought from Nulb just outside the Grand Bhaali Circus entrance. It's loud. There's lots of people. 2 hours later, you're guessing like the vast majority of people that you saw on the outside of the temple have come into the Grand Bhaali Circus. You've more than a few times bumped into a some carnival goers or a drunken troll.
Okay.
Darian's stares seem to
Keep them at bay.
keep them at bay. Yep. But the marketplace is burgeoning as ill-gotten goods from Runarak are being sold here, and then the goods that you took from the temple are also being sold here. Yes, it seems to be. They are not asking questions on where things came from, but they are giving you fair deals for the things that you have.
Yes. Oh, it's weird because if we get all, we don't want to think about it too hard because the stuff that we're getting from the temple is also stolen from the people. Like, there wasn't a lot of industry in there.
Krieger looks like Ptolemy's already eating. he's got this pink stuff that's just stuck in his hair, and he's like grappling with it. This is the most.
Really?
It's delicious. It's sweet, but it attacked me. He somehow has it all over himself.
Are you serious?
What?
Do you know how long that's gonna take to comb out of your hair?
Well, it seems to dissolve when you lick it.
No one's licking you.
I didn't ask you to, he says.
You were going to.
Oscar's giving it. Oscar would lick him.
You don't have to buy a treat. They hop down. They hop down from the.
They have a most intrepid crafter of tokens. Very interesting magics, I must say. This is a very amazing place.
You can see two Earth Temple lackeys kind of salute Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher wasn't really looking and paying attention. They.
Hey,
Curate,
Oh, what?
you might want to pay attention to your people.
salute him back.
Oh, he wanders over to them and they straighten up. What? Yeah, maybe. Go have fun. He waves them off. They go. They kind of salute him and he wanders back over. He does not look happy. They mentioned that there's some sort of strongman competition.
Oh, hello.
I don't. Do we have to?
Hey, if there was a spelling bee, you know you'd be up there.
Not only would I'd either be the judge or the champion. That would be the only.
Okay.
If
Crush.
it was a spelling bee.
Bonecrusher is digging through the packs of stuff and grabs one of the Earth Temple. I think cloaks. Cloaks.
It just throws it on.
No, he puts it on Kreiger. There.
Yep.
You're the strong man of the Earth Temple.
Woo! Where's the competition?
I believe the strong man of the Fire Temple is here. He also happens to be the marshal and our only warrior.
The Fire Temple doesn't
Right.
need warriors. It needs fireballs. Do you know that spell?
I'm going to think about it. I get a third circle wizard spell when I level.
You should learn that spell.
I've got little fireballs that roll around.
Oh, yes. Yes, I suppose little fireballs, he rolls his eyes, will be sufficient.
I could have multiple.
Don't make me have to replace you.
Oh yes.
Maybe I should be wearing the Minotaur's disc, since I am the temple.
You might wanna before. All right, let's start from. I know you have your objection. We'll give you your chance. But first, before you supplant the Greater Temple, you first either have to diminish, destroy, defeat, or otherwise subject the Greater Temple to your will.
Yes. Well, what do you think we're doing?
Well, right now, I am contemplating licking cotton candy out of your hair.
Oh, here's some. Here's a
You
patch.
give it a suck.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I will slap the both of you.
It's pretty good.
Disgusting.
You should try it.
I think not.
As sweet as candied cotton.
That's his hair.
It's
been
as sweet
sleeping
as
on
candy
before.
as cotton.
In a disease-filled temple. And you decided to
That
lick
makes
it.
it even sweeter, don't you know?
Hard no.
All right, so you do some of your commerce. You haven't sold magic items, but a couple of hours have gone by. It's now approaching noon. There does seem to be a
We
Like a couple of
sold a bunch of mundane goods, and then we traded a bunch of the gems and stuff.
Yep. This place is weird. It's got like 3 overlapping suns, but they seem to be really far away, kind of in a haze.
Are they all moving as a group? or
Yeah, they're
do they
all
have-
moving as a group, and they're all kind of like overlapping, and it looks like they've moved into like perfect alignment at noon.
If we're going to, let's get a snack before this strongman competition.
Yes, but we haven't seen much of anything aside from merchant stalls.
Yes, we could. Well, let's. Where is this competition?
I think over there.
There's a tent of riddles. Let's go to the tent of riddles. That's where the Sphinx is, isn't it?
Mark's asking me questions. Are we going to see the circus in the Trident Circus campaign? Quit fishing. I was talking to Mark where I had written down like the chronological order of the campaigns in my little DM book, and I asked Mark, we went through all the names of the campaigns, and I asked Mark, what order do you think they happen in? And there was it was an interesting discussion before you joined. But he's fishing now. Are we going to see this circus in the circus of Dread Circus campaign?
We're back in time. Is my opinion on this one. We could be all the hints are we're really forward in time, but I think that really means we're doing like the Star Wars thing of a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Future.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Laser guns and spaceships. Pew!
And then the cavemen.
Then cavemen.
Technology can become very simple.
You can have Oopas and then have to start over again.
Yep. All right. So you begin walking in the general direction of where the strongman competition is going on. You pass out of the circus bazaar, pass by the tattooists, get into the place where some of the bartering is going
All right,
on.
Before we leave here, why don't we actually no sideshow later?
Oh,
I think the food's at the swine tent.
yeah. You can see that there are a lot of trolls and ogres, but there are other people that have wandered into this swine tent. You get the sense that there's cheering going on, like some sort of eating competition is happening.
Well, why don't we see if they got any leftovers?
All right. One of the thin jurats just strides by. He doesn't really pay much attention
How
to you.
have you not died of disease?
He was fairly close a couple days ago.
Yep, there are 2 trolls and an ogre that are trying to stuff their faces with a veritable wheelbarrows full of what look like meat pies. One of the trolls actually gets up, belches, but the belch kind of turns a little raw and then starts to like heave. Oh, no, he's out! He's out! And then a bunch of people are booing, and apparently there are people betting on this. There are people that are not like going crazy over the meat pie eating contest, and they're just sitting at benches and watching and eating pies at a reasonable human pace.
Is there a rule about no disemboweling for the pie eating contest?
You don't know. The one troll smiles as he's kind of sticking more piles in. The troll is sitting at a table that has like a tablecloth over top of it, and you do see something leaking from underneath the table.
That's how I know this place is evil.
Alkur is going to look for somebody who looks official, like an officiator of some sort.
Well, you do see that there are some people that are officiating the pie eating contest, and the ogre's like starting to slow down. He's drinking out of a cup.
Are you allowed to disembowel yourself while in the contest?
Wait, what?
He's leaking.
Do not look under the table, I said. says the troll. A couple of people peek out. There's some whistles being blown. The troll gets up, and it looks like he had opened up his gut and like sliced open his belly, because there's just like this pie mush kind of coming out of his body. He gets a little bit tangled in his own guts, but he did lurch across the table and took a swipe at Alkur for saying something.
Protect me! Save me!
Darian jumps in front of him with a flaming sword.
This veritable walking pig man in a chef's suit. No violence here! No violence here! You made me lose.
No, you were cheating.
Yeah, give me your coercion check.
Alright.
Made you lose, you cheated. You cheated all on your own.
Oh.
35.
Fire Marshal. He goes back to collecting his guts and kind of pushing them back into his.
Which temple are you from?
Oh, water temple. Oh.
We'll be seeing you.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, he picks up his guts like a skirt and kind of like hobbles out of there quickly. The ogre, however, is laughing. But then
He just won.
Yep, he just won. And he gets up, but then decides he's just gonna sit down again.
We're not allowed to be sick. So we're just gonna sit here for a while.
You could hear this swirling in his belly.
That whole I feel it in my throat.
Right. But he does give Alkur a nod. Give me a, I don't know, diplomacy check. You may have made a friend.
Yes, I need friends. Would you like to worship fire? And by fire I mean go. My diplomacy. Natural 20, 31.
Nice. Very good. So I'm gonna find a good ogre token then. Here's a good one. He looks kind of good and big and dumb. Oh, hey, you!
Yes.
Fire temple elf, huh?
Yes. Alkur. And your name is?
My friend calls me Eats a Lot.
Eats a lot.
Yeah, or just eats it. That's too long.
Itza is a good name.
Eats, yeah. You fire temple?
Yes.
You have enough to feed me?
Yes.
Okay, eats a lot fire temple then.
What was Isolde before?
Oh, well, he guard, and then he smash, and then eats.
Well, you need to cook before you eat.
Oh, I know cook. Fire temple cook. Wait, fire temple must be good cook. Fire,
Yeah.
cooking.
Of course.
Oh, I'm gonna go take a nap.
You do that.
Maybe a good barf will make me feel better. Not in here. Okay, I barf outside. I be fire temple. You got fire temple symbol? Hmm. Oh, he takes off his hat and he's got like just kind of a few wisps of hair left and it's all greasy.
We'll hand him a fire temple tunic.
Oh, this good shirt, yeah. Ooh, probably not for an ogre.
What? Here, I will turn it into a penny. Like I'll...
You stitching it onto his his okay.
Yep.
Onto his back or his side or like a
It's made
bib?
like an armband.
Oh, that good. Yeah, now I could tell everyone. Fire temple, feed eats.
Yes.
Okay. You better watch out. He pokes at Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher's like, really? Fire temple best. No violence here, or you go crazy.
Yeah, your skin falls off.
Oh, did that happen? Oh, I want to see that.
You went that way.
Okay, give Eats a minute here. He kind of... 47 pies. That's what they said.
Darian's gonna.
Each lost count at 10.
10 is not bad for counting.
Oh, Fire Marshal, good sword, huh? Scare troll, they do not like fire. Me like Fire Marshal. He gives you a friendly kind of push. But when he leaned over, he kind of
That is the last time.
sharded a little bit. I dig my pants water temple.
Excuse me. It's just Darian is not having fun.
Right.
Oh no, he's finding Swinomancer.
Okay. Hello?
You
Yes?
run this establishment?
Oh, yes, I cooked all the pies, also those who cooked it. Why?
What kind of pie?
Meat pies?
What kind of meat?
Oh, it's sort of a mince.
From whence did it mince?
Give me a... Are you being threatening?
Yes, he's like.
Give
"You're
me a
gonna
code.
tell me."
You're gonna tell me.
Are
Okay.
you selling people pie?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Is it people?
You know why? Because the big, tall, scary dude to make people's skin fall off make me think this is a bad place. 16. Here we go. 21.
Well, pork, mostly.
And then
He like he's trying to pull you off to the side because he just want to say in front of everyone. You
he
go
goes,
to the
he
edge of the
goes
tent.
to the side.
Well, pork's expensive, so I do mix in other little critters that we capture. Please don't tell anyone. They are delicious. He offers you one.
I'm okay with critters. I don't think he's lying.
Nope,
like,
no,
making anything up.
he looked
He
guilty.
was confessing his sin, and his sin was
Yeah.
there's like badger and mouse in the pie.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
we
can't
have to
trust that.
resort to mealworms.
As you were.
Yes. Thank you.
Here, he takes the pie he was offered,
Yep.
walks it over to Oscar. Here, Oscar, your favorite flavor. Free.
How'd you know?
Yeah, you could have just entered the pie eating contest and got as much pie as you could eat.
I wish I would have known.
'Cause I'm not paying for these pies. They can have them back, though. Ah.
Oh, I think if I punched you in the belly, you'd be paid for those pies.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to be chummy with Alkur. You guys sit down and have a meat pie. They're delicious. Nice buttery crust and the right amount of moisture in the meat pie, and there's a nice like slightly oregano and pine.
Oh shit, that's possum. I know it. Thanks, Oscar.
Oh no, this is splendid, says Ptolemy.
It is mighty fine. And if it is possum is very good for you. It is part of a balanced diet for a growing boy.
Is that really how you see him?
He's just a whippersnapper.
Well, yes, and Unky Dwarf used to feed me possum milk.
I'm stuck with a vision of Oscar milking a possum now.
That's pretty much how else would you get possum milk?
There's one thing,
He shoved his
Kreiger.
pie away.
There's one thing that's missing, Kreiger, with these pies, and that's a good drink.
You're gonna wash this down with something. Hey, what is it to drink around here?
Go to the swill tent.
There's nothing to drink in here with the pie. Grabs his pie and goes to find the swill tent.
Okay. The group of you walks across the street. You see that one troll again. He's like finished regenerating, and he goes running away from you, shrieking. The thin Juret turns and just sort of gazes at, the sound of the troll shrieking, and then just gazes away. You avoid some of the creepy Grand Bhaali clowns and head over to the swill tent. You do recognize the noble with his magical costume, Dagoom, sitting at the table. There are a bunch of long tables sitting arranged in rows inside the swill tent. There are very large barrels of perhaps mead, wine, spirits. Definitely doesn't look like swill. The place is packed, full of raiders and marauders and people from the temple. You do see that there are some of the bugbear blackguards that didn't have a temple insignia, but perhaps belong to the greater temple that has been referred to.
Under his breath, Darian's like, "Oh, the smiting I could do."
But first we drink, says Ptolemy. And he wanders over and goes, "What is there? What is there?" And he ends up getting some dark chocolatey wine from one of the smaller kegs.
Kreiger's just looking for mead or ale.
Give me a second. I made some notes on my phone, and I want to go.
Spend a few chits, I imagine, at both these tents.
Yeah, probably a chit each for the pie, and probably a chit or two for the drinks.
Okay, I will subtract 18 chits from the grand old pile of chits.
All right.
Don't forget, one pie was free.
I'll subtract 16 chits from the grand old pile of chits.
Darian, while you're up getting a beer, or I don't know if Darian drinks in here, or is he just...
He'll have a drink. He's not gonna.
Okay. There's a delightful and crisp cider that is being served in one of the barrels.
Perfect.
You overhear somebody talking kind of rather loudly and slightly drunkly.
There's only so much marching a fiend can take before they start asking the most dangerous of questions. Why? Most high-ups don't like that question, because the answer everyone knows boils down to orders, because they were ordered by some high-up to do it. That line of questioning leads to bummers questioning the high-ups themselves, and that's the last thing the high-ups want.
He's just rambling on. There is literally a spiky, iron-bearded, heavily tattooed humanoid thing. It kind of smells like beer and sulfur, and you're pretty sure that's a devil.
He's standing there staring at it, knowing he can't attack it right now, but he can't help but stare hate at it.
He looks over it.
Do I know you?
No, I don't believe we've met.
He looks at the rest of you.
Holy holies! By all the devils in hell! We have celebrities amongst us!
And apparently everyone just sort of looks over, looks at you, and then goes back to their drinks.
Alkur the brain! Ptolemy the peacock! Oh, Bone crusher wolf! No, shall I say Bearsheim? Ha ha ha! And Shadow's gotta be around here somewhere. You're Darian, aren't you?
All right, who's been talking?
The Argent Knight, the savior of realms and the slayers of demons. The Blood War could have used more like you. Imagine if we had a world of little Darians running around. How things could have turned out a bit different. Devil Lords know they tried. Who is this? A new recruit, huh?
He points at Kreiger.
Oh, fuck this again.
Oh, the fields and banners and graveyards full of allies that have died in your cause. I miss Mervling the Merciless. He's not with you, is he?
Can't say that he is.
Ah, it's been ages since I've had enough jink to play at the big table. Soldier's pension isn't what it used to be. What stage are you at? What dungeon did they put you in?
I'm sorry, do you have a name?
Oh, of course I do. My name is Steerbeard. Some call me the traitor, or I... interpreted my orders in a different sort of way.
How very orderly of you.
Yes. There's only so much marching a fiend can take. March over here, march over there, wait, march over here, wait some more, and then march over there. Endless, I tell you, endless.
Knowledge occult or... There's no planes anymore.
Yeah, occult.
How do I...
Occult.
I want to identify a bearded devil.
Occult.
Occult. Alright, I'm thinking about bearded devils. 24.
They are called Barbazoos. They're infantry devils. They're the foot soldiers of Hell's armies.
Do they get the teleport thing?
I don't know if...
Like, I guess the question is, do devils have that power? Like, is that just a thing that all the...
Devils have a dimension door at will.
Still pretty awesome.
Hey, what?
I suppose they didn't like you if they told you to march when you can sort of blink around.
Well, yeah. Marching's good for you, I guess. Too much of it, dulls the senses. And old Steerbeard's still got a few of those rattling around in his brain pate.
So, are you at the temple or the circus?
Oh, well, I've been relaxing here at the circus for some time.
He's seeking asylum, methinks.
Yeah, that. I might have mentioned that name, or might have mentioned that word when I came visiting here.
Huh.
So?
Are there any angels here?
Everyone seems to like to disguise themselves here.
I'm a fucking bee, buzz.
Oh, don't think I didn't forget about you, Oscar Glitterfiend.
We don't use that word around here.
You're a favorite in some circles.
You'll get to know me eventually.
What circles would those be?
Well, the lords of above and below. The ones that run that little game of yours. Oh, shit. It's too early by the looks of your faces.
I think we've already found our past incarnations and are aware that we are in some sort of repeating simulation.
Repeat.
We're going through a simulation over and over again.
Oh, it's real as real.
Yes. Alkur is subconsciously tapping the sack with the skull in it. Like, he's pretty fucking... I got this skull that I'm pretty certain is mine.
So what dungeon they got you in?
Temple of Elemental Evil.
Ah. Well, that's a tough nut to crack. Never been beat.
How many other dungeons have we been in?
No. Probably ruin the surprise, although you won't remember next time. A few.
He just kind of looks back, so we're not just getting fucked here. We're getting fucked other places, too.
You look at your faces. Oh, this has gotta be a highlight of top 10 of my vacation so far.
As I understand how the soul stones work, they are not splitting our souls, so we can only be at one place at a time. Question.
Oh. You buy me a drink, I'll answer a few questions. Like I said, a soldier's pension ain't what it used to be.
Especially when you're not collecting it because you're stuck here.
Oh, well, I've got ways. Not reliable ways, but sometimes a bubble or two makes their way to old Steerbeard.
What would you like to drink?
Oh, well. I'd like a lot of things to drink. He looks you up and down. However, they don't serve that sort of stuff here.
Which is a good thing.
I'll take a nice, crisp cider.
He picked cider because Darian was drinking it. He's grinning at Darian.
Oh.
Sure.
You don't know how special you are, do you? They had statues of you.
Statues
Oh,
of
you
us.
no. No, I don't think you're from their world.
Let's get that drink.
Buy him a cider.
Yep.
Yep, buy him cider.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. All the slack jawing and chewing the cud has made old Steerbeard quite thirsty.
It's a good boy.
What? Ah, foul demoness. I hope you give her what for.
Are they trying to kill her, or what? Like, what is the purpose of this game?
Well, the only good demon's a dead demon.
You know, there's a bunch of fucking, like, Temple of Elemental Evilists are taking umbrage to that statement, but it's a fucking bearded devil, so they're not wandering over to...
They're not that. He's not wearing a mask,
Yep.
or that might be his mask. He's actually like a little lean.
Some of them get up and leave, and there's some like talking amongst themselves as
Kreiger gets up and is like, "Hey, watch your mouth." You.
Your new dog amuses me. Does he have a name?
Oh, you wouldn't be calling me a dog. That's more Shadow's deal.
Oh, you two doing the bone wrenching change yet?
point at Bone Crusher and
No.
No, they have not been cursed.
No, but Shadow has done his best to try. He's hung out with some vampires, a few other things.
Vampires, direwolves, vampire direwolves.
Yeah, well, vampire, huh? Never been my kind of thing. You're pretty young. Oh. Fucking celebrities here!
fucking some of the
Every time he says that, Oscar gets like smaller.
Yep.
He's just drinking. Buzz buzz.
So the only good demon is a dead one.
So then why?
So these
make
other
us
dungeons.
fight her?
Well, who
Why not
knows?
kill her properly?
Who knows who goes through the minds of the lords above and below?
Who are the lords above and below?
Oh,
The old gods.
some of them are gods, some of them think they're gods. I'm not supposed to tell you those sorts of things.
And yet I'm asking anyway. As I was so kind as to buy you a cider.
They run the gamut. Oh, I'm sure the big boss has got his tendrils in that game. Of course, the old hag is probably involved.
Does Oscar remember an old hag? He hasn't been too good at remembering. He was pretty driven.
Yep. Give me an inch check. Just a flat,
Remember
just a simple inch check.
big-ass gold tree of money falling down from the sky. That's about all I remember from my past life.
13.
13? Okay, no.
A big-ass tree of money. Money tree.
And of course, demons are as varied as they are stupid. A few of them, you know, the bigwigs, have an interest on what goes on Runerak.
What is Runerak?
Oh, this delights the last cockle of my heart to hear the great demon slayer Darian asking the lowly hell-foot soldier such world-shattering questions. I could use another drink.
It's Acheron, isn't it?
Oh, yes, Acheron. Once home to deities like Groomsh and Maglubiet, where they dwelled upon great cubes of iron, endlessly warring amongst themselves, preparing their armies for the Great War. Of course, Runerak was a much smaller cube. It was not fit for armies, no. The lords above and below, in their wisdom, used Runerak for different purposes. Who knows what little game they're playing with you? But quite a few of them take great pleasure in betting upon your actions and those of others. That's the big table.
Good to know I can pleasure someone.
The things I could tell about your sins. Fratricide.
I beg your pardon.
My soul is as pure as the undriven snow. As are my business dealings.
You just ate Ptolemy's hair.
In the plane of piss and shit, my heart.
I just like this. What's wrong with little consensual licking of another man's hair?
Nothing. This is Ptolemy.
Beg to differ, my lord.
You are such murderers, killers, slayers when Mervling was with you.
Who?
Mervling English. He had no enemies, 'cause every enemy he met died.
No memory of this guy?
Nope.
How about Alkur?
Yeah, you can give me an in check.
Alkur's good at incheck.
And you also decide where your hero points go. I'll give one to Mark's set of characters, one extra one, so you get two for either Kreiger or Darian, and then one for Adam's group. And then I'll even be so kind to give you one to Bone Crusher or Shadow if you want.
Yeah, we'll give... Kreiger always seems to get in more trouble than Darian.
Well, since Alkur is enfeebled, clumsy, slowed, we're gonna give him an extra hero point because some shit's happened to him recently.
And I don't know why, I just feel Shadow usually needs it more than Crusher.
Asking the why questions, are you? The most dangerous types of questions?
Most relevant.
Yes, they are.
So we're on Runerak now, are we?
Yes.
Huh. Well, that's good.
Who is the painted elf?
What?
The tattooed elf. Elf with a butterfly. He is messing with our game.
Is he? Well... interesting to know.
He smiles like you just gave him some information.
Mark, I just fucked future me.
Demon Watch just got much more difficult.
Oh God! I didn't mean to. I thought it was. I was confused at the timeline.
You don't remember, do you?
He looks at Darian.
Any of it?
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
stories of you marching into the halls of sparkling heavendom. And taming the untamable. Riding aloft great worm silver dragons into the belly of demonkind. You even made hell take a moment, stop, and look.
Maybe that's how I ended up here.
Well, you're all special, don't you know? All of you. Celebrities.
Well, not to. I think Keeners might be a hanger on.
Hey,
Oh no, some of the...
give me a chance. I'm gonna do a strongman competition. I could win that.
Some of the lackeys you picked up along the way were spectacular and died great and grisly deaths.
I'll take it.
I've never seen this one.
Spectacular.
I've never seen this one before. He looks strong.
Yeah, I'm pretty strong. Just trying to puff himself up. Okay.
Oh, looks like my cup is empty again.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Shit. We're getting a lot of information. These is very effective use of chits, except for the whole accidentally screwing future me, and there'll be just the barb devil just showing up in the shaped pot. What are you doing in there? Oh.
By keeping to the universal rule of threes, your time with me today is running out. We've pushed our luck, filling your heads full of things you should not know.
And his clawed hands kind of clink. He's got like an extra knuckle, and it's kind of like bent backwards a little bit for clawing, and he grabs a hold of the big mug that you've been feeding him. The mug is not like one of the local mugs. It's like he brought his own mug. It's a big iron-looking thing with like the little finger cap and some skulls on it because devil. Frothing over.
His cup is metal and a wallet.
Right.
Uh,
Hey, Dragon, can you stop dying, please? Thank you. Hey, Wither King, how's it going?
So, the markings through incarnations, are our souls moved around between owners, or is it constant?
You don't know how a soul gem works.
I know how a soul gem works, but I also know we have a marking. He pulls out his skull.
Oh, delightful. Oh, you have made my day and then some. You found bodies of yourselves. To be there to see the look on your faces.
His hands over Ptolemy's ear.
What? That was my relative, is what he says.
To see the looks on your faces. Oh, to be at the big table again. Oh. They should really broadcast that. It would be such a morale increase.
I'm unfamiliar with this word. To cast it broadly, like a spell of some sort?
I know what cast means, and I know what broads are, so it sounds good.
Fishing with women.
In hell, they have televised broadcasts, but most of the time they just spend it filling your head full of propaganda.
Disinformation.
Mass information.
What does televised mean?
The boob tube.
No, we're talking.
The idiot.
I want one of these tubes.
The idiot box. Oh, how many hours have been wasted staring at infomercials and reruns. Endless syndication. Bubblegum popcorn fantasies for the lackadaisical and for the lackadaisical and lazy. Because along with it comes TV dinners and sofas.
Alkur is
Relaxomatics and all sorts of bib-bobs and doobly-doos that you don't need, that you want. You gotta call now to get the deal. 2 for 1, free, free, free.
There is a chance that if they run a spelling bee, I might not win.
There's a chance that if Oscar sees one of these infomercials, we'll never get him back. Free, free, free.
So it's a box where you got deals inside.
Don't worry, Oscar. There's a special place in hell waiting for you when they're done with your soul. You're one of ours.
He can be redeemed.
Of course, Darian would say something like that. And hell just trembled at that, the lords above and the lords below. I'm not even sure, however, with their powers, that they could poke into this little realm. You might have some freedom here. If you don't, then I should probably stay here for a while longer after you leave. Yes, they could be watching you right now.
Can you read this for me? Point to the top of the skull.
Well, I can't see it. If I could see it, I'd be able to read it. It's invisible.
Is it a simple matter of a see invisibility spell, or does it require something more powerful?
Well, you had to take the skin off. See invisible will probably work. Are you sure you want to know who sponsored you?
I would like to know who I should be attempting to kill, yes?
Curl the brain! Oh, I wonder who sponsored each and every one of you, although some of you, I think, came from the same green pasture.
Do these guys have any semblance of, like, Pastoria being a place? No, we don't know about Pastoria. That's fine. I'm going to be paranoid for the next few months. Just be like, no, you do the requirements spec. What do you mean by that? Wheels within wheels, spinning, turning. I will start signaling to turn right when I actually turn left. Haha, they'll never know my plan.
Forgive me, lords, high and low. I got too excited if you are listening and watching. But how could I not? They are your little pet project, isn't it? Of course you have others. You may not be watching now. But know that I am ever your servant, and I look forward to joining the big table again once I have scraped up enough jink and junk. And with that, parting words. Will they be sweet or sour?
We'll be seeing you.
Oh, delightful. That gave me chills. A paladin that strikes fear into his enemies. Oh, to see you ride into that battle is something I wish I was there for. Well, technically I was there for it, but just on a different front.
Are we
Marching.
supposed to be getting him a horse or something? Because right now he doesn't ride for shit.
I ride just fine.
Oh,
I actually have the ride sheet.
You actually ride well. It's like,
even more so, I would have liked to have been there when he bitch-slapped that silver dragon and straightened them all out.
Say what now?
You're in Demon Watch. You're from Demon Watch. The Silver Dragon Hierarchy of Doom, those assholes let everything go to shit.
Apparently, Darian's gonna slap them around.
You're just gonna go with. What are you, a big silver bitch?
You made me get out of my chair.
Oh, and he kind of like is walking away from you after he finishes his drink. He hooks his metal cup onto his belt and just sort of backs away. He's bowing, not quite to you, but just in case other things are watching you. And he retreats to the other side of this wool tent.
They watch you when you're sleeping. They watch you when you're awake. They watch
All
you
right,
when you
now
been
that he's
bad or
gone.
good.
You do notice that Shadow kind of nudges Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher nudges Alkur. And you could see that Dagoom was listening to part of this conversation, and he's quickly leaving the tent.
Why don't we just follow that fucker?
Let's follow Dagoom. Mr. Legume.
Yeah, he's about to rat on us.
Exactly. Let's see. How bad could this spliffing or whatever it's called, the turning, the bending, the twisting,
the
or
twisting.
the nipple bender, the twisting. How bad could it be?
Okay, well he's hustling now through the crowds.
We just gotta get out of. We gotta get out of the demi-plane, and then find somewhere private to kill him.
Okay.
All right. Who has any sort of a mind control, like a suggestion type spell?
Ptolemy does.
Oh, good. Because Alkur can't hustle very fast. He can only double. He only has 2 actions per turn.
I think Bone Crusher is pretty swift of foot. He goes
Yep.
running ahead of Dagoom. Who are you? Who are you? You eventually catch up.
What was that horrible fiend speaking about? What makes you so special? Celebrities? Demon slayers? Your fire and earth temple? You're traitors? You're adventurers!
Hey. Maybe you ought to take your wild accusations and consider that you've been drinking.
Your magic hat makes you pretty.
Go ahead. If you strike me down, the twisting will get you.
Oh no, never here.
What are you going to do to me? I never hurt you. Nice people.
That's right. And why don't we keep it that way?
You should enjoy the fair for as long as you can, I suggest, says Ptolemy.
I hear they're looking for workers.
He suggested that he enjoy the fair for as long as he can.
Getting the guy to join the circus.
Just enjoy it. Just go and enjoy it.
Enjoy the circuit.
What's the DC of Ptolemy's? It's so weird. It's like just always the same. I'm gonna roll behind the screen here. Yes, it does look fun, doesn't it? I'm going to go
I
and
do like that about this system, is the DCs for even your low-level spells go up.
Yep, it's like everything is
Because you're a
heightened.
better spellcaster.
Yeah. I will go and enjoy the fair, he says. He looks.
There you go, legume. Enjoy.
It's like he has a vegetable mind. Good one.
I don't understand.
That's what a legume.
Have fun.
He goes wandering off. He starts dancing with a bunch of the weird clowns. He has this look of like glee, but also fear on his face, which seems to be appropriate. Mild tinge of confusion.
Alright.
I'll tick off a spell for Ptolemy. That was a 3rd level spell that he had to cast from that, though.
We have eaten, we have drank, we have learned potentially something about our past selves as well as our current selves.
We're celebrities. I think that means we're important.
Don't let that go to your head.
All right.
But you are important. Don't forget that.
Celebrity ship is not like cotton candy.
Yeah,
It means something.
but it's not always sweet.
No, it isn't. Like being a lord.
Or being
Figuring
a
that out now,
world-renowned
are ya?
merchant. Because when you're a world-renowned merchant, everybody's trying to fuck you.
A celebrity lord has a very heavy burden to bear. Puts his hand on Darian's armored shoulder.
Harry just looks at the hand. Back at him.
At least it wasn't a tentacle. Oh, and he wipes off a little bit of the cotton candy he got on your armor.
He just his shoulders sag at the...
Don't worry, apparently you're some sort of great paladin lord. That
Yes,
must make
you
me a...
slap dragons, apparently. You slap good dragons, apparently.
If he can be believed.
Keep in mind
says
where
Bone
that
Crusher.
story's coming from.
Yes.
Denizen of hell.
At least it confirms what the demon told me.
The best lies are told in a cloak of truth.
That's good, you should write that down.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. At some point, I'm probably going to use that, and I will just pretend like I was the one who said it.
That's fair enough. I'm pretty sure I stole it from someone, too.
That guy knew too much.
Says Shadow.
He knew too much. He knew our names. Our last names. We should probably fucking kill him.
Yeah.
I'm not against that.
Remember, violence in this place might have some repercussion. Everyone's all twisted and weird,
Says Bone Crusher. I believe the term you're looking for is asymmetrical.
I don't feel well.
Yeah,
really
I
old.
still feel bad too, although at least the buzzing's not as loud anymore.
Oh, I forgot you guys got the juice.
We got the juice because we decided to pretend we were like important as opposed to just pretending to be just some jackass.
Always pretending to be a jackass.
Be some guy. You don't have to wear the jersey with the C on it. You can just wear a jersey.
Yeah.
So does that mean we were here before?
I believe it does.
Huh.
A few people have behaved strangely around us.
I wonder who's in charge of this place.
That's a good question.
We've heard the name Isolde a couple of times, says Bone Crusher.
Hey, maybe they'll be at the strongman competition, huh?
I wonder if there are prizes for the strongman competition.
Maybe we'll give you an extra strong arm. Like one really big one, or maybe like one that comes out your side.
I don't want that as a prize.
A third arm. Yes.
No.
Just told me.
No. No. I don't need a third arm. I have two perfectly good ones.
Like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Oh, I got one of those.
So you do have a third arm.
No, it's like one. Like that.
You're so confusing.
He's talking about his penis.
Oh. Not the time to talk about tentacles?
Darian looks up. No. There was never a time to talk about that tentacle.
I see.
Use tentacles for a reason.
Why are we standing around when there's so much things, there's so much to see?
Let's see what's in the midway.
But the strong man competition.
We don't even know where it is.
Alright, well, you do see some very big ogres and trolls and an ettin all kind of using this big mallet to, like, slam a button, and it seems to, every time you slam the button, this little whistly thing goes riding up on a track, and the harder you hit the thing, the higher the whistly thing goes, and there's this big ruler-like device and a bell at the top.
Here we go. This is my game. I even brought my own hammer.
All right, right now there is an ettin and an ogre that look like they have placed the highest, and nobody has rung the bell yet.
Okay.
How are we going to do this? Just the highest
Is it
attack
by
roll?
damage output? Is it a strength check? Is it by attack roll? Can Oscar win this by having a good attack roll? Or is it a strength check?
I like the damage output.
It feels like damage output to me.
Yep.
How hard did you hit
Yep, exactly. Okay, so let's see how hard the ogre had hit it. This ogre boss used the regular size hammer. What do hammers do?
Oh.
What kind of hammer?
Like a maul?
Yep.
D12.
And the large one would be D12 plus 2.
Okay. One of the ogre boss got a score of 12. The ettin.
Did the Ettin laugh at him?
Yeah, both heads laughed. Yep. The ettin. Ooh. 1d12 plus. Oh, the ettin got 11.
And then now the ogre boss is laughing at the Ettin.
All right.
All right, there are others that are just basically swinging the hammer. There's some other really strong cultist warrior just swung the hammer and just got a good crack at it.
Okay. Kreiger's gonna go.
Okay, it costs you 10 chits to enter the competition. Or they're basically 10 chits per swing.
I only need one. Come on, 10 chits.
And basically they're saying at the end of an hour they will award the champion. So you can see a bunch of people's names on a board and their scores.
Do I have to use your hammer, or can I use my own hammer?
You must use the hammer.
Ah, crap.
Everyone use same hammer.
Alright,
I believe your specialization applies to this. So it'll be.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna rage.
He's so angry.
Showing his.
A bunch of the Earth Temple come over and they start cheering. Yeah! It got really
18.
close. It really got really close to the bell, but didn't quite touch it. But the ogre boss seems pissed off at this.
10 more chats. Come on, I can do better.
All right, they will let you take as many swings as you really want, but it costs 10 chits.
10 chits.
Yep.
Come on. 21.
Nice. You got even higher. The ogre boss comes over and is now demanding to
Try again.
demanding to try again. Yeah, let's get a token for the ogre boss just in case this goes bad.
Then he calms down.
Are we allowed to cast spells upon the hammer?
They say no.
Give me that. I can eat higher than you. You're just a puny human.
But he's got a baby arm holding an apple.
And not a tentacle, says Ptolemy. The ogre doesn't seem to enjoy your jokes, and he pays another 10 chits to wail at the hammer, getting a 16.
It's fixed.
Well, we reassure you that this game is not fixed. He pays another 10. $15. He tosses the hammer.
Turn him into a barbarian.
He tosses the hammer. He tosses the hammer over your heads and goes stalking off.
I'll see you on the outside.
Which temple did he come from?
This one came from the Greater Temple.
I didn't realize the Greater Temple's gods was so weak.
I think you heard you.
I'm going to tell the shaman about you.
Please do.
You mean about my
Please
mighty
tell him how you were
strength? He's
defeated
like
by a
flexing.
human.
The two-headed ettin was laughing at all of this.
Oh, ogre dumb, only one head.
Two heads are better than one.
What
Yeah,
temple are you from?
that's what Mother always said.
Don't you mean mothers?
Ha ha ha, he knows.
All right, there's an ettin that decides that he's gonna. They're gonna each pay 5. That's the deal they come to.
I imagine an ettin couple being very difficult. Like when there's a fight going on, things get really messy.
All right, the ettins are at plus 10.
You know what? Maybe they come to like, oh, it's 3-1.
They just vote on everything.
22 damage. They just crush the. Oh, we have a new champion in first place, and you can see strongman Earth Temple on top of, like, there's some name for the ogre and the ettin, basically.
Oh, we strongest, we best.
Chits, come on, shit me.
See if you can do better than that. Pay more chits to us.
Apparently, you get some of the prize pool if.
Okay, we will put in more chits.
I need a
10.
10. Yeah.
Well, 11 to beat him, but 10 to time.
Yeah.
10 silvers.
Are you doing that? One more, I go for another one?
Oh, one more. Go on, I can do this. I'm getting tired.
Don't worry, second place is good.
I'm gonna be special celebrity from second place.
Yeah,
Moping
hey,
around.
Kreiger on.
Gonna die a horrible grisly death. Apparently that's what I'm gonna do.
Us, give him 10 more.
Do it. Do it or you're a wuss. You're just a hanger-on.
24 max damage.
you end up hitting the top.
Hey, look! He did it! He dinged the dinger! Hey, good one. Good one. Earth Temple strong. Yeah, that's what I said. We should have joined Earth Temple.
Yeah, we're still taking volunteers.
Yeah? You take us to Earth Temple?
Yeah, Kieran's right there. You can just talk to him.
Okay.
And they go over, and Bone Crusher sighs and has an awkward conversation with an ettin. I don't think anyone's gonna beat it, but come back here in about half an hour, and we'll split the winnings with the champion.
Okay, sounds good. Back in an hour. I just gotta,
So are the so is that in chits or is that in silvers?
Well, chits, but you can cash them in. 2 chits for 1 silver at the end of the day.
be right back.
Fair enough.
I was just like,
Do it on that.
that's the way I would have done it.
Well, he's like, he wants to fuck you up. It's like, it's what I would have done.
Yeah, keep on changing your money.
Yep, change it all.
Okay, there are other games of chance. There are like dart throwing and trying to shoot these crossbows at moving targets. There are simple like games of chance, like wheels and spinners and.
Was this the strongman competition?
This is the strongman competition, yep.
Okay. Do we want to go see the zoo?
Do I have a...
All right, then. Let's see if we can't find a fluffy something for you to pet.
Well, I told the ettin to guard the carriage.
Says Bone Crusher.
That's good juice for him.
Yeah,
Do ettins eat people?
Probably, says Bone Crusher. He's not looking pleased that he has to play the part of this... the curate of the Temple of
His
Earth.
god is one that's like, are you an evil fuck? Yeah, sure, why not? His god's cool with it. Are you building up a warband? Yeah. Bring him down. War party it up. Everyone's invited.
Sure, depends what the what the victors are trying to achieve, though. You go wandering past the big tent. You could see some people like consuming fire on the main stage outside the big tent. There's lots of oohs and ahs coming from the big top itself, from within. You can see a guy that has got all sorts of nails, including nails stuck into his head, and there is a like almost a skeletal woman that seems to be oiling him up, perhaps for a show, and kind of wiggling some of the nails, like warming him up. There is a very tall man in a garish costume with a hat and frills. He is basically inviting one to everyone, come one, come all type speech. There's a guy who seems to be sharpening his own teeth with a file off to the side, and you can see several unlucky chickens in a coop beside
that's
him.
A really good name on that guy. I just read the token.
The Vorpal Geek.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah, all the names of the performers are in banners and that sort of thing, and these people are literally it seems like fire, when it touches their skin, gets absorbed by their skin, and they seem to be able to spew out.
Are they like Ganassi? Or the funny, like the subrays?
Yeah, they could be fire ganassi. Carnival games, House of Horrors, House of Mirrors, Fish Cup, Soda Toss, Sand Art, Grizzly Hat, Dino Dig, fortune telling. And there's a fortune teller. There is a petting zoo. You actually could ride an elephant. They're heading to the zoo.
I rode an elephant while we were in Bali.
Did you?
I rode an elephant while we were in Bali. A long time ago.
That troll. You keep on following the troll. He runs away from you when he sees you. You could see people lining up to get inside a tent. There is a wicked-looking man and acting like security or something. He just eyes you as you're going by.
He looks like he found a sex thong, like a gimp ass thong thing, and he just didn't know what he was doing. So
He seems to be guarding the guy who's collecting chits as they're going into the big top. He like waves people who are trying to like catch a free peek at the acrobatics and death-defying feats that are going on inside.
Well, we will. Wait, excuse me, sir, kind sir.
What do you want there, Bubbers?
When's the next showing?
Every hour on the hour.
Every hour on the hour. How many hours does your day have?
What?
How many hours does your day have? How many hours till sunset, for example?
13.
Points to a clock that's kind of visible off to the side.
13 hours till sundown? Or 13 hours per cycle?
26 hours. Stop asking so many questions.
26 hours per cycle, 13 hours of darkness, 13 hours of light.
Are you going into the big top or not? You're bugging me.
We're gonna go pet a hairy animal first.
I'll put the clock tower. There's like a small clock that you can see.
I think we're gonna. Or do you want to go to the big top first? I think we should go to the zoo because we could burn a lot of time in the big top and make it mark.
Okay.
You're muted.
You pass by a
I'm
tent.
up for the zoo.
You say you pass by a tent that says "Come and see the familiars."
Oh, we might want to stop there.
And there's a warning on a small sign outside. Warning. Those who have familiars should be noted that the familiar will become familiar with your familiar. If you should bring yourself and your familiar within 20 paces, do not be alarmed. His control will go away in time.
Any of you geeks have a familiar?
No.
Well,
Shadow says,
Doom's like a familiar.
Aren't you Doom? And kind of kicks that Doom.
If I'm reading that sign correctly, perhaps you should be nicer to do.
He's tough. He can take it.
They told us at the front that they might have this guy might have a squish for you.
Oh, yes. He takes out Squish. We take out the token for Squish. This is the taxidermied fish squirrel.
Let's see if the familiar can turn Ptolemy's squish into a familiar.
Come
Because
along,
that will make Darian very happy.
Come along, Squish. Let's go talk to the familiar. Ptolemy goes inside. Oh, hi. Wow, there's lots of familiars in here. He nods and waves you all in. You can see that there are all sorts of like...
Is that face paint or a mask?
This face paint.
Okay.
He's got quite the schnoz on him. He's a skinny old man, face paint, same face paint that the rest of the Skira are wearing. There looks like there's some sort of like muscular dog with red eyes, and then there's one of these I don't know, like the cats without fur on them, and then
Things are disgusting.
and then like a dead but still moving ferret-like beast that's sitting on a pillow. There are what have to be at least 40 familiars that are stuffed and taxidermed in this place, or are preserved in jars. And the names of each of the familiars is like on a little placard in front of all the jars. He simply, for whatever reason, he's not talking, but he's gesturing like to come in and have a look around. He does tap at the entry fee, which is 3 chits.
3 chits each.
Yep.
So 4 of us going in. Hey, Jackos, you just go out and play with your hammers.
All right.
I think that's an elephant.
This is
I've never seen an elephant.
Shadow and Crusher are gonna go gawk at the elephant. You overhear 2 ogres basically saying,
Oh yeah, this thing be good for war. Yeah, stomp on the villages. Yeah, we should try to take it from here and bring it to Hamlet and smash their skulls open.
So, I keep trying to like make a rationale in my brain where we become members of the Temple of Elemental Evil and we rename it and we are just the Temple of Elements and we just own it and repurpose it for the forces of good. It's just no, we go and attack the hobos or something. Like we have to. Because it's weird, because Omelette had very little in the way of defenses. So when they're like, we go to war with Omelette, they don't have any. Like they're trying to build a castle. Once they have a castle, then sure, you're going to war with them. But they've got a couple of dudes with crossbows.
well, Lord...
I guess one old wizard.
Yeah, one old wizard. Maybe that's enough.
And a priest. One old adventuring party.
Hello there, Ptolemy says. This is Squish. He takes Squish and looks at Squish, and he starts. Ptolemy's talking to him about whether or not he could make Squish a familiar. He thinks for a moment, and then let me look up a creature.
Squish is dead. He is not alive.
Well, how would I make him alive?
Not quite a familiar, but we could make him a homunculus.
Do you do Arcana? Do you do Occult?
Arcana?
Religion? Arcane?
Yeah.
28.
A homunculus is a tiny servitor construct created by a crafter to serve as a spy, a scout, or a messenger or assistant. They are familiar-ish type creatures. They are a spark of the creator's blood and life force is used to breathe life into these things. Like the CR0 little tiny creatures. They do have telepathic link to their creators, although they cannot speak. Typically, homunculi have poison as well. Which you can either... A homunculus has 1 dose of poison in a reservoir in its head.
In the fish mouth.
It can refill its own reservoir with an action, and I would say you could even replace the reservoir with a different poison.
So have whatever its base poison is, or you can put other
Yep.
poisons.
They fly.
I would love a homunculus. Please, could you make Squish into a homunculus?
He needs wings.
Could we borrow wings from one of these delightful creatures here? Look, this cat has wings.
Yes, we can gather up some dead things, and I can help you make a homunculus. This will take some